if you're watching this, it could be for any number of reasons. A lot of people simply want to make a start at working towards a goal or completing a goal after bumping into mental roadblocks or after something in their life that has caused them to pay their attention to other things other than what it is that they actually want to achieve. This video is here to provide you a detailed explanation, a framework, and a model that you can use to start anything you want to start. Whether it's a business, a new hobby, starting that book that you want to write, making a start at going to the gym, whatever it is that you want to start and make progress on, this is the video for you. Okay, and the beginning of the framework and the process to creating and achieving your goals and your success is to have one. All right? So step one, have a goal, have a vision. In order to create a start, there must be some idea of an end. Okay? This does not mean that once you achieve what you want to achieve, that will be the end of your goal. Okay? Or that will be the end of achieving goals and creating success. Okay? But in order to start achieving and creating success, you must have a place to start from. And in order to know where to start, you must be able to see the place in which we are aiming and working towards going to. Okay, it really is that simple. You don't have to understand the inner workings of the universe. You don't have to know the alignment of the stars. You don't need to learn quantum mechanics and the superposition of particles. Okay, it's irrelevant. And so are your whatever belief system you have. It's irrespective of those. Okay, it doesn't care about what your favorite food is or what clothes you pick out in the morning. Your success, the future version of yourself relative to the position and time that you are in right now, wants and needs you in the present to get going. If you don't, you can never realize the visions of yourself that you have. Okay? You have visions of yourself in the future. Yes? Without having that vision, you'll never be able to make that start that we're trying to do. So, to move deeper into this goal, there is also one important tip and note that I want to personally make to you. Okay, just between me and you, just us. Listen. One of the most important pieces of put together words that I can give you is that you cannot or will not care what anybody else thinks. You might not think that this applies to you. I'm asking you, don't trust me. Trust yourself. Even if you say that you don't care, you probably do to some extent. It doesn't mean you cry about it every time you hear a bad thing about you. It doesn't mean that you get upset all the time. But to some extent, even if you don't care what other people think, you will to some extent care about what you think about yourself. All right? To achieve all of your dreams, to create a reality that isn't yet in your present, but will be in your future, you have to set a goal. When you set that goal, you cannot care what he thinks. You can't care what she thinks, what they think, what your mum thinks, what your dad thinks, what your brothers think, what your sisters think, what your friends think, what your boss thinks, what your work colleagues think. Okay? Keeping this as PG as possible. Do not give a monkeys about what anyone else thinks. All right? Do not care. What other people think and what other people say should mean nothing to you when you're making your start. If you allow other people to have an opinion on the life that you want to live, any opinion that doesn't fully align with how you think or feel can delay the process, as it removes a bit of motivation and a bit of energy that you had that was moving you towards making your start. Okay? Step one, making a start, it's about you. Yeah, it's not about anybody else. You're not being selfish. You're not leaving anyone behind. You're not causing harm to anybody. You're not being negative. Making a start to changing the way that you live so that you can achieve your goals and turn your dreams into reality, that's the most beautiful thing that you can do. Okay? That is realizing your potential and making a start at doing what it takes to achieve and go all the way. All right? Making a start is about being immovable, full focus, 100% drive, never back down, mindset on go, 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 not stopping, no pausing, no energy loss. Okay? Momentum conserved, throwing your everything at everything. Okay? Never take a no for an answer. Okay? In other words, keep moving forward. Step one, set a vision and don't look back. Step two, we've just said it, keep moving forward. There will be an innumerable, immeasurable, incalculatable. There are and always will be an infinite amount of reasons that life will give you that you will find, that you will hear inside of your mind, that you will see others give you, that you will hear from others, yeah, that you will feel in the presence of. There will be an infinite amount of reasons given to you as to why you can't or shouldn't achieve and change the life that you're currently living. Feel free to change the word reasons in this context to excuses, because that's all they are. To your dreams, to your goals, any reason to not do the thing that you know that you need to do to achieve the life that you want is an excuse. Yes, coming from me, I have even more of a reason to be distant from your problems because I don't know what you're going through. And I do not have the answers to solve all of your problems, okay? Or any of the problems that you believe that you have. All I can tell you is that I've had problems of my own, and I've simply used frameworks that I've developed myself like this, my own experience in life, doing things like this, figuring out how to get things done, okay? What's worked for me, what has worked for others, okay? To minimize the roadblocks that I get in my life, okay? The only way is through, and that's why you have to keep moving forward. The moment you allow a comment, a thought, a feeling to slip past you is the moment you risk losing all your momentum. A lot of people will say you shouldn't rely on motivation. This is a motivation. Others will say you have to rely on discipline. This isn't discipline. Other people will say scientifically, brains are programmed to acknowledge our internal emotions, okay, our internal emotions and desires driven by our conscious and subconscious mind, and that we have to feel a certain way to allow those emotions to drive us, to feel happy, right, to be in the right mindset, to feel angry, to create internal drive to push forward. This isn't about emotions, and it's not about science, okay? It doesn't care how you feel. What this framework, okay, allows you to do is to create life in the ways that you want to live it, okay? It's a phrase, it's a set of words that are applicable to you, and only the ways it can give the life that you have lived, okay? Or based on the life that you've lived, okay? And what life and experiences you've had so far in the life that you have lived, okay? Only applies to you. Keep moving forward. It's a phrase you can use to empower yourself in the moment of distraction, okay? It's a set of words you could put on your wall. It's an entire philosophy you could spend your life researching. Whatever you decide to do, the only fact that remains is that after you have set a destination, okay, after you have had a vision of what you want to achieve, and once you have set a goal for yourself, you have to keep moving forward until you achieve it, allowing nothing to get in your way. This means when something does get in your way, you know you have no other thing to do other than to solve the problems you identify that you distinguish being a roadblock in front of you, resisting you moving forward until you push through them, okay? Keep moving forward. If you're in countless amounts of debt with multiple kids, a single parent with 3 jobs about to go homeless, this example is going to bring us a step 3, okay? Acknowledge failure and seek success. You've set a goal. You know what you want to do. You know that whatever comes your way, that you're going to keep moving forward and do whatever it takes for you to solve the inevitable roadblocks that come your way. That could be excuses that appear in our minds, or financial situations that hinders progress, or a lack of skill or experience with a certain thing that, that we need to have to keep moving forward. Whatever comes your way, you're going to keep moving forward. So that begs the question, doesn't it? What happens when we fail? Let us first define failure. Failure is when you try to do something and it doesn't work. And that's all it is. It's nothing more complicated than that, or more simple than that. It's when we try and it doesn't go to plan. Okay, things don't go the way that we want them to go. That's failure. We fail when we try to do something and it doesn't work. I'm going to introduce failure in this framework as something entirely different. Okay, it's going to seem delusional to some people, and that's okay. Our intention here is to create and use a framework that increases our probability of success by admitting we don't know everything. We don't know what the future holds, but what we can do is be aware about who we are and what we want to achieve and how we can use tools such as this framework to create the success that you're looking for. Failure from now on doesn't actually exist. Okay? That word doesn't exist, and it has no meaning. We must acknowledge that when other people say that word, that they are referring to the first context we spoke about a moment ago. But to us, failure doesn't exist. It's not a real thing. What does exist in the spectrum of measuring our progress are actions that resulted in something that we didn't want to happen. okay? And actions that resulted in something that happened exactly the way that we intended. We do it for one main reason, and that is to simply forget the idea that failure is real and that failure is possible. It's impossible for you to fail at something if failure itself doesn't exist. It sounds laughable, but your brain is incredibly powerful and it takes things really, really seriously. Okay? This is the reintroduction of the science we talked about earlier that you can use. If you took a 1 nanometer cross section of your brain, for example, it would be equivalent to 1 exabyte worth of data. Okay, so just for SI units, to explain it, it goes kilo, mega, giga, tera, peta, and then exa, right, which is 10 to the 18. Okay, so if we compare that to like modern hard drives, that store data, which is at the tera size, which is 10 to the 9, a cross section, 1 nanometer, that's 1 times 10 to the minus 9 in that small area. You've got, 1 times 10 to the 18 amounts of data. It's insane. Okay, your brains are powerful, and your words to some extent are like spells. Okay, words are very powerful. They create a reality behind you, but that's for another video. Okay, if failure doesn't exist, how can you fail? The answer is you can't. Your progress now is measured by your results, and those results are made to be examined by how relative they are to the results that you were trying to achieve. Okay, we don't label what happens. We make ourselves aware of the result and keep moving forward. If our result is far away from what we were intending to achieve and is far away from the result that we wanted, we simply analyze and think about what action we can do next to increase the probability that we get the result we're looking for. Here is another reason we do this. If you make a start and everything is going well, then over time, inevitably, as we talked about before, you hit a roadblock in your journey towards your goal. If your perception is that you keep failing, then that is what you will subconsciously think about yourself, that you are a failure. If failure doesn't exist, you hit a roadblock and you keep missing the target or you don't reach the goal. If failure doesn't exist and we take a perception of living probabilistically, then over time, we will naturally fine-tune our actions towards the achievement of the goal, right? Looking at things at surface value, as failure is what most people do, okay? And let me take a wild guess at what the people around you think in terms of things that you want to do with your life. When you try to do something and it doesn't go to plan, what do they think about you and what do they think about your actions? Do they think that you failed? To you now, it's impossible to fail because failure doesn't exist. Results do. And if we get a result we don't want, we just fine-tune our actions until we see the creation of the success we achieved through our consistent refinement of our actions. When results don't go to plan, we focus again on the goal. We focus and look back at our actions. We look at our available options in the present. We look for the highest probability action that will in turn create the net highest return on our actions taken. Okay? This 3-step framework is what I call the VMF Framework, the Vision, Momentum, and Focus Framework. If you remember VMF and what it stands for, as in vision, momentum, and focus, then it should be easier for you to remember this framework when you want to apply it, straight away. I would recommend remembering and recalling this framework at any of the 3 stages you experience. So when you're at stage 1 of a new goal or a new thing that you want to achieve, remember VMF and start with the vision you want to create into reality. If you're in stage 2 or the momentum stage, think VMF, and you have to keep moving forward and acknowledge all of the roadblocks that come your way and smash through them, okay? Not caring about what anyone else thinks. You're just doing the work that is needed to do. If you're in stage 3 or the focus stage, so you've got your vision, you're doing actions, working towards it, but sometimes the problems start feeling heavy and you're on thin ice, going back to not achieving your goals. Just think VMF. Think back to your vision. Think about the momentum you currently have. And remember now that you have to focus on getting results, and that we can expect that not every result we get is going to be the one that we desired, but that you will stay focused on your vision, keep moving forward, and commit to the next action that you feel and know is the best choice available to you to succeed and to create the success that you're looking for. Okay? Thank you for watching. I would say best of luck. I don't believe necessarily that I want to just send you luck, but I do send you positive energy. And I'm sure you will do well. Following this framework, it's, I would say, impossible to fail, because being set on a vision means you know where you're going. Um, Having momentum means you'll continue to have the drive to get there, and remaining focused will guarantee that every action that you take will be towards the initial vision that you set for yourself. Okay? Well done, guys. Keep it up.